Jennifer Mendyka here with your daily 60 seconds of biblical inspiration for your day. Today I'm going to read in Acts chapter 16, and I'm going to focus on verse 25, but I just want to kind of tell the story first. So, Paul and Silas are in Philippi, and they made the people angry. They cast out an evil spirit out of a girl, and the people who had relied on that girl to make them money were very angry. And so they brought them to the magistrates, and the magistrates said that, that they were preaching things that they shouldn't be preaching, and they threw them in prison. And they didn't just get tossed into, a nice holding cell. They were thrown into the inner prison, which was the really bad part. Sometimes when you went into the inner prison, you never came back out. And so they were not in a good situation. They were in a really bad situation. But they didn't let that get to them. It says in verse 25, "And at midnight, Paul and Silas prayed and sang praises unto God, and the prisoners heard them." So this wasn't a quiet prayer to themselves. It wasn't a quiet praise unto themselves. They prayed and they sang and they let everyone hear them. And it keeps going in 26, and it says, "And suddenly there was a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken, and immediately all the doors were opened, and everyone's bands were loosed." When Paul and Silas prayed, and they sang praises and worshiped God, they not only broke themselves out of prison, but every person that was in that prison was loosed. All of those who had been held in bondage, the bands of everyone were loosed, and all the doors were opened. Amazing things can happen when you not only pray, but then you praise and worship Him and thank Him before things even happen. When you have the faith to say, "Lord, I need you to do this," and then you worship and praise Him because you know it's going to happen. Because even though you haven't seen it yet, you know it's done. You can not only break your bonds, you can not only take yourself out of that prison, but all of those around you who can hear you praising and worshiping can be set free as well. I don't think we realize the power that our praise holds. Our praise and worship can move mountains. It can shake the very foundations of strongholds that are binding us. It can break the bonds of the prison off of us. A lot of us know to turn to God in prayer. I have this going on. I'm praying. Somebody please pray for me. And that's a good step. We need that step. But we need to take it one step farther. One step farther. Pray and then praise Him. And when it gets hard, when you start worrying, praise Him again. Crank up the music and sing along and praise Him. We let ourselves be convinced that maybe He just didn't hear that prayer. Or maybe I didn't say it quite right. Maybe I didn't ask for exactly the right thing. You don't have to ask for the right thing. Ask earnestly for God to move in your situation. Ask earnestly for God to help you through whatever it is you're dealing with. Ask earnestly for God to change things the way He wants them to be. And then praise Him for it. Just praise Him for it. Thank Him for doing this thing because you know He will. Or you know it's in the process. You know He's not going to ignore you. You're His child. He loves you. So pray and then praise and worship Him. And wait for that foundation to be shaken. And wait for those bonds to be loosened. Because they will be. They will be. And anytime you start wavering, just praise Him again. Anytime you start thinking, maybe it's not going to happen, just praise Him again. Keep praising Him. Keep praising Him until it happens. And don't do it quietly. Don't do it quietly. Praise Him for everyone around you to hear. Because they might be set free as well. Whatever's binding you, it can be loosed from them too. Too many times we praise quiet. Oh, thank you, Lord. I don't want anybody to be offended by my praising. I don't want anybody to wonder what I'm praising about. Just praise Him. Just praise Him. And watch the things happen. Make sure you praise Him and thank Him before it ever happens, because that's faith. When you thank Him and you just know, I haven't seen it yet, and it might not be right away, and it might not be tomorrow, and it might not be 6 months from now, but I know, God, that you are moving things. I know that you are putting things in place, and that when your time is right, this is going to happen. And I thank you for that, Lord. Just praise. Praise Him. Don't doubt. Have a wonderful day. God bless. Goodbye.